All righty, and great afternoon, each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to My City, My Biz Live Magazine. I am Shantina Gladney. I'm here with an amazing individual, and the name of her company and organization is Blueprint for Change. But I know she's beyond that, even more than that. But we want to go ahead and feature her on today. And so, once again, I want to go ahead and introduce to you Miss Kahri Phelps. Kahri, how are you today?
I am well. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, doing fantastic. And so, you guys, we are going to go ahead. I want to make sure that we get all connected to social media, but I want to make sure that you know exactly who this amazing lady is that is on here. So, let's go ahead and make sure that we get it saved. We're going to make sure we give you time enough as well to get all set up and to make sure that you get things saved to your share to your social media. So let's go ahead and get it on over to Facebook, first of all. And let's see, where are we at here? And first of all, how's everyone doing out there in the entrepreneurs world today? How are you guys doing? That's what I want to know. I know it's going to be an amazing show today as we go ahead and we speak to Kahri today. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and share it here. So we are getting it all set in. Was you able to see it over on your end, Kahri?
Yes, I'm about to do it right
Okay,
now.
all righty. Wonderful. And so one more place as we go ahead and get this show on the road. Let's see. All right. And we are almost there, everyone. And it's there. And we're live. Are you good, Kahri? You ready to go ahead and get going? I love
Yeah,
that necklace you have on. Oh my goodness,
thank
that's a statement piece.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Just okay.
Okay, yep. You just let me know whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll work on that and fix that as I'm
Uh-huh. Sure.
on. All right.
Okay. I see you just shared it.
All right.
All right. Wonderful. So, how is everyone doing out there? That is right. My City, My Biz Live magazine. You've heard of the actual expo that takes place. This is coming up on our 11th annual year, but we knew that there was entrepreneurs that had a need and they needed to be able to get their businesses out there. They didn't have a platform. They weren't used to social media. So we're pushing them, we're stretching them to get their businesses out there, to get it on social media. And we decided to go ahead and lend hours and hours of our social media time to those entrepreneurs because everyone knows we love entrepreneurs. We build them so that they can go out and build a successful business. And we have an amazing entrepreneur on the line. She is just amazingly fantastic, but not only what she does in her business, but also what it is that she does in the community and how she connects individuals. So today, Kahri, if you could tell us a little bit about, first of all, who is Kahri Phelps? Who are you, please?
I am a mother of four children, 20, 13, 9, and 5. A community advocate, entrepreneur, and a sister and a
That's
daughter.
right. Yes.
Uh, Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And I am generally very quiet and I only speak up on things I'm truly passionate about, and education happens to be one of those topics that um, I am overly passionate about, probably.
Wow. And you are, I can see the passion when it comes down to those children and youth. And so that's what brings us here today, as a matter of fact. And so if you could just share with us a little bit about your company, Blueprint for Change. And that's what we're everyone hashtag Blueprint for Change for what it is that we're embarking up on today. And so there's a couple of things that we want to be able to make sure that we bring a light to. But I want everyone to know, what is Blueprint for Change, please?
So, Blueprint for Change is basically, it started as a parent. I looked at what our options are in the city of Milwaukee for our children. And when I moved back from Glendale, I had to basically look for what options do I have to send my kids to certain schools, and what does that look like? So I went on DPI website and I was like, well, um, I don't know where to send my oldest. He was going into high school. And then I'm like, looking in 4 more years, I'm going to have to figure out where to send my next child. So Blueprint for Change is change in the community. What are we looking for, and how can we put into place different action steps in order to change what's currently going on in the educational scene?
Wow, exactly. And so, and that's so very critical and important. And so how long has Blueprint for Change been around, please?
So Blueprint for Change has been around for the past 3 years, um, in some form or fashion. I just named it a couple years
Yes.
ago.
Okay.
Um, I was just like, it's got to be something simple, something.
Yes.
I work in construction as well, so we use blueprints, and that's how that came about, kind of like a play on
Oh,
words.
that is okay. That's the connection. Wow, and so amazing. And because you're laying the foundation. You're building. Either you're adding an addition to it, you're upgrading, or either you're starting over brand new, right from square one. So I appreciate you and all that you do and bring to this entire community. And just your smile and just your whole personality is so very infectious. But if you can let us know what are some key things today that's taking place. There was a pivotal subject and matter that was out there for the voters a couple weeks ago, and so if you can let us know exactly what does that mean, and not only what does that mean, but how is it that Blueprint for Change, and we know that My City My Biz is definitely going to be one of those endorsers and people that's going to get behind you with that whole charge.
Okay, so today is a board meeting. As you know, MPS had a referendum that passed recently, during all this COVID. So, what kind of got swept under the table is the accountability piece for the referendum, the $87 million per year. Um, and the reason why this is so important is because us as the community, we need to come together and assist and help out MPS in their needs, and basically tap into our resources so that um, we notice what's going on in our community and we have a say so in the community. So as a parent, I'm very vocal about what occurs. My 3 children attend MPS currently. So tonight there is a meeting. They're going to discuss funding, um, and what's going to happen with some of those funds. There'll also be a meeting in May to discuss what's going on with those funds. And I think sometimes we forget as a community, even though you don't have any children, this directly impacts you. And how that impacts you, number one, is you're part of a community as a whole. So these children that are coming out of schools are going to be greater part of the community, and hopefully, productive members of society. That's the end goal.
Right.
And the reason why the board meetings are important is because we need to have accountability. We can't just hand over $87 million without some type of structure.
Mm-hmm.
If even in business, in order to get investors, then you have to have a business plan, a detailed business plan at that. And currently, MPS kind of came up with their version of transparency, was saying we need more educational funding, we need more funding for career education and technical education. We need funding for, basically they call them ACE, but it's like the arts, the um, GEM, and there's a lot of acronyms for them. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but there's the others. And what I want to know is, how is this funding going to be equitable to Black and Brown children?
Yes.
Because traditionally, what has happened is the money's been going. There's a lot of money that passes through, and that money goes to children that their school is performing well. But what about those other schools? Those are the ones that need that equitable funding. So, for instance, I just wanted to make sure that we all know. I'm just going to read what the referendum was about: sustaining and expanding educational programming, including more career and technical education programs, attracting and retaining certified educators, expanding arts, music, physical education, and language programs. That was the language of the referendum itself.
Okay.
Um, Definitely, we need more Black and Brown educators, and we need to be able to retain those educators as well. So prior to the referendum, there was a cap, a state cap between roughly about $10,500 per student in MPS. So now what they want to do is have with the referendum, it's supposed to get them to the level of education for the surrounding cities, which is Shorewood and Whitefish Bay.
Okay.
So in saying that, if you want to have those type of funding, it's about 10.6, I mean, sorry, $11,600, they'll say around there. There comes responsibility and accountability. And as of right now, it's like carte blanche and there's no accountability whatsoever. So the critics have said, well, TOSA had 124 million that passed, but that 124 million is over a 20-year period, whereas we're asking for this additional funding. So what that breaks down to the average taxpayer, so for every $100,000 house that you have, you're paying $160 extra on your taxes. So it's not a lot on your taxes, but it still requires accountability piece. And that 87 million only makes up 9% of the total MPS operating budget. But if you're going to have those funds again, there needs to be the accountability piece. So I just was looking up a couple things which I thought was important. Bruce Thompson from Urban Milwaukee, he made a editorial piece, and he said it's unrealistic to expect additional funds from the referendum to solve all of MPS problems, which we all know that. Yes. Many MPS students face enormous problems that occur outside of school and interfere with their ability to succeed in school, while some Milwaukee schools, charter choice and traditional, seem to have figured it out how to help their students overcome these same challenges. There seems to be no strategy to identify and replicate the factors for their success. So ironically, MPS, whose business is learning, is not a learning organization.
Right.
So that piece right there speaks volumes. So what we're saying is that even though there is the money that was going to be given to Milwaukee Public Schools, that accountability piece on how other schools look taking best practices to decrease the gap, as you will, and have more equitable education experiences for everyone.
Right. Right.
So just for clarification, I want to say how much it actually is. So 57 million for the first school year, which will be 2020 to 2021. In addition, so it's like kind of like stepped up. So additional 20 million for 2021 to 2022 school year, and an additional 7 million for the 22 to 23 school year, and so on and so forth until we get to 87 million. So with this, I guess my question is, not really a question, I have a call to action. So what I want people to understand is that there is a school board meeting that is occurring tonight at 6:30. And you can do two things. You can comment on accountability measures. You can comment on however you feel about whatever you feel. And I think it's important for us to show up at any point to the MPS board meetings. And that email, I just want to give that to you, is governance@milwaukee.k12.wisconsin or wi.gov, sorry. Just basically asking for clarity and transparency in this budget. I feel like it's our fiduciary responsibility as citizens to hold our schools accountable for that 87 million. And so sorry, also want to make sure that we are asking them what is their specific plan to recruit and retain teachers of color.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly do you mean by expand technical education and opportunities? How will you utilize each school's parent liaison to ensure the community is informed of these accountability measures? Most people have detailed business plans, so we're asking for a detailed business plan of what we're going to do with the money and what specifically is going to be done to address the inequities in education for our Black and Brown students. What specifically is going to be done with the 87 million to address the 80, well, the, sorry, the graduation rate, which is, give me 1 second, I had it written down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The graduation rate as of 2019 was 69.1%, and our proficiency rate for math is, let me just, I don't want to misspeak, so I want to give you exact numbers.
Okay. This is exactly what we need, Kahri. And I thank you for even preparing to give us that kind of information, because people are not going to take the time out to go and get it. So thank you.
So this is actually on MPS website, and it's also on dpi.gov. You don't have to take my word for anything, but I encourage you to look this up and as well as research the referendum for yourself. So the score that as a whole district received, the number of proficient and advanced students for 18-19 school year, advanced and proficient, was 17.4% in the areas of English language arts. So that's reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's low.
And then we also have math. Okay, so that is 14.8% advanced and proficient. So if we're looking at, we have a graduation rate of 69.1% with that same year.
Yes.
And we're sending people into the community without being prepared. That's what I have a issue with. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want our board to be held accountable for.
Right.
So again, we have a meeting tonight. And prior to that meeting, if we could send an email, send a voicemail to, let me see what her name is.
Okay.
Their email to governance at milwaukeek12.wi.gov.
Okay.
And as well as show up. Just look on the MPS website. The agenda's right there. Whatever you have a question with, ask them questions. It's our responsibility to help this next generation.
That's right. Wow. And you are so very right. And I just thank you so very much for providing us with that, with the opportunity, the details. And so I know also that there's another meeting that is taking place before that. I put the link inside of our group. I don't know if you did, was you able to see that at all? For 3:30 p.m. today. So I'll make sure that I put it inside the group. Yes, I'll make sure. So go inside our group, and so that you can see that. But when I tell you, I've only had the opportunity to be able to meet this brilliant, amazing lady, probably over a year ago, maybe.
Yes.
And I tell you, it is just amazing and just infectious. You're like, what it is that this community needs. And anytime I see people that is willing to make sure that they stand up, even if they're standing alone, that really means a lot. And that really says something about leadership. And we must understand, we have to get past that and thinking that you have to have a title within this community in order for you to be able to make a difference. We are the change makers, being honest with you. And we are the ones that should honestly be holding people accountable, and not in a way where it makes someone feel like they're doing something wrong, because they're not. And a lot of people, they just do not know what they do not know. And it's not business as usual in Milwaukee. No, right. There's a lot of people that is saying, no, the status quo. And so I believe that there's enough people that is going to rise up during this time and to be able to become a Kahri Phelps and to be able to run after what their passion is, what they know that their voice can be able to lend importance to. And so, Kahri, we thank you. We thank you so
Thank you
much
for having
for
me.
joining us. That's right, for being a part of My City, My Biz Live magazine. Definitely looking forward to so many other opportunities. And keep up with Kahri. Keep up with the Blueprint for Change. That is the hashtag. And we are going to make sure that we are holding accountability, but also making sure that that money that came in, that it leaves central office. We want to make sure that we see it hit the classrooms and that it makes an impact, because we know that third grade on through is important. We know exactly what it's set up to do, and we want
Right.
to make sure that we right there put a plug and a stop in it. And I thank you, sister, for being here and for being that person out there on the front lines fighting for our children, because not many people, they don't even know where to begin. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great one. Talk to you later, okay?
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. All righty, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Make sure that you do that tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you are in the Milwaukee area, MPS, tonight is that board meeting. We want to make sure that referendum that was approved by 73%, we want to make sure that it makes it to our children's classroom, that there is some kind of fiscal responsibility, and that we're able to lend a hand and help wherever necessary for MPS to be able to make sure that they're distributing the income. The only way that they know how to do that is with your voice, by you showing up, by you being there. So thank you once again. This is My City, My Biz, and I am Shantina Gladney, the founder of SGGN Group, which we are a business and lifestyle society, and we work with those emerging entrepreneurs. So as I always say, make sure that you present the best of who you are, where you are, and it's time for you to stop pressing the snooze buttons on your dreams. So once again, this is sponsored by SGGN Group, and you can visit them at www.sggngroup.com. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.